Hi there, my name is Roland and I'm pleased to spend some time with you to help you find out if you are in the right job or if God has a different plan for your working life. In this 7-part series, we're going to look at your current and planned job situations and apply the teachings of the Bible to help see what God's plan is for you. In these videos, we're not going to show you how you have to leave your job and go to seminary school or how you have to quit to be a missionary in some faraway land. In fact, I want to put that out there right now. That's not what these sessions are about. And for 99% of us, it's not what God wants anyway. Instead, the goal is to help you know which job is right for you and also fits God's plan for your life. After all, God needs people in all kinds of jobs. And the Bible doesn't tell us that we should all leave our daily work to become full-time preachers or missionaries, does it? This video series is based on the material in this book, How to Be a Christian at Work, from God and Work, and also on a 3-day workshop that we provide to help people with this question: are you in the right job? Throughout the series, I'll go through various examples from my life, the Bible, and those of others to help you think about your situation. And at the conclusion of each video, you can download a 1-page handout with a series of questions for you to consider to apply what we've talked about to your situation. You can then work through that handout at your own pace and continue on with the next video in the series whenever you're ready. There's no set schedule, so you can move along as fast or slow as you want, whatever suits you. As you work through this video series, please remember that there's no right answer. There's no one-size-fits-all response, especially since God's plan is different for each one of us. So please don't feel like you must find the one right answer like you might in a regular online course. Once you've gone through the videos and you still feel like you're not sure about the best direction for your working life, we're happy to help you with a one-on-one consultation by phone or video call. Details about that are provided at the end of the course. So, are you ready? Let's start by reflecting on a few questions to get the juices flowing. First, are you happy or frustrated in your current position? Do you see opportunity to grow in your current job? Where do you think that you can see yourself in 5 to 10 years? And lastly, do you think God has a calling for you in your work? Now, you might not have answers to those questions right now, and you might not even have thought about them all in relation to your work. And that's okay. That's why we're together in this video series. In the coming video sessions, we're going to go through each of these questions and more so that the uncertainty about your job situation and work plans might become more clear and line up with God's will. Let's start the series with a bit of background about me. I've started my working life just trying to get through college, holding all kinds of different jobs in all kinds of different places. Finally, I got my degree in engineering and I got my first job. Now let me just take a break. If you're in a situation where you're about to get your first job, you might want to check out the talk on finding the right first job that I gave to about 500 students at a university in the US recently. The link to that talk is in a description section of this video, or you can find it on our God and Work channel. So be sure to watch that once we're done, if that's you and you're looking for your first job. Anyway, back to my story as an example. I started as an engineer, working on a project, and after a few jobs around the US and Canada, over a period of about 10 years, I took a transfer to Europe. I transferred to Europe mainly for family reasons, so the kids would see more of the world. Not at all as part of any career plan or higher level goals. Simply for the family to see Europe. That's it. Well, one thing led to another, and soon I was managing a small project group. Then I was getting more involved in some sales and marketing. And one thing led to the next, and eventually we transferred back to the US, and after a few years, I ended up as a vice president in a big American company. Wow, things were looking good, right? What's left to decide? Well, quite a lot, actually. One day, God tapped me on the shoulder, hey, and made me aware that I was actually giving more and more of my life to the company than what he had in mind. You've seen it before, you know what I'm talking about, right? Someone gets promoted up and up and up, and soon they find themselves in a divorce situation, losing their family along the way, all because they're so focused on their career and moving ahead. Presumably, it all started good, with the goal of giving the family a better life, but we'd all say it ended badly if the family checked out along the way, right? Well, tap tap, I didn't want to be like that, and besides, back in the early .com days, it looked pretty interesting to jump off and start my own company. So I did. I launched my own company, and after 3 years, I moved on to become president at a medium-sized software company. I did that for a few years, and then I left to work with my wife, operating a clinic in the medical field. Like some other decisions along the way, that was never the goal or the plan. Neither one of us, my wife or myself, even had any experience in the medical field, but the doors opened, and so we walked in. Was that the right choice? Were we following God's will? Well, from the world's point of view, in terms of my financial or career success, a number of those choices were way off the mark. But it turns out God can still use us even if we make strange and selfish decisions. Since then, God opened the doors to start this God and Work ministry, and also to get involved in other areas, all while I was still pretty young and energetic. I tell you this story not to impress you in any way, but to show you how God can lead, and that no matter what kind of plans we might have, or that we might make, God can still use us if we let Him. The idea that we can plan our career to be the way we want is really just a myth. I mean, sometimes it looks like people have it all together and that they planned their whole career from the start to the finish. But I'm telling you, that's not the norm. So let's be realistic and instead follow a different strategy. Let me give you some insight. One of the hobbies I picked up along the way is sailing. And sailing can teach us a lot about career and work plans. In a sailboat, you don't have control of the wind or the sea. You might have a destination in mind, like a career goal or an ideal job, but when the wind changes or the sea gets rough, then the sailor has to change plans accordingly. Otherwise, the sailor will soon find themselves in some pretty difficult situations that could be dangerous. So although we may want to sail from A to B, sometimes things change, and so a better plan is to forget about going to B, but instead go to C. In this case, wise sailors adjust their sails, and they plot a new direction to best take advantage of what's going on around them. What might have looked like a good plan could have become a bad one, but with our course corrections, we might find that the new plan is a lot better than the old one, even if it wasn't our original objective. That's how it is with our working lives too. We might find that even though we think we want this job or that job, live here or go there, it might be better to change course in alignment with the situation around us. It's my prayer that the next videos will help you understand the situation God has placed you in and the direction He wants you to take, just like a change in plans in our sailing example. So if you really want to dig in to find God's plan for your working life, no matter what situation you find yourself in, then the first step is download the PDF file in the description to this video and work through the questions on that one-page handout before going on to the next video. If you're faithful in working through these questions on each one-page handout, then we're also willing to help you with a one-on-one consultation at the end of the series. Like anything, the benefit you receive is in proportion to the effort you put in. So download the PDF. Spend a few minutes working through the questions in the download. Take your time, think realistically, and spend some time praying to hear what God is saying to you as you consider the questions that are posed. We'll see you in the next video once you're ready. Be blessed, and thanks for joining me.